How's it going, gents? Here we are today with BMW, the new one, BMW S1000RR M Sport. Couple of cows here. You guys are more important, aren't you? You let me pat them? No, you're too scared. Too scared of the noisy bike. Carbon fiber wheels. How cool is that? Look at this dash on this thing. Look at this thing when it turns on. Holy moly, man. These things these days. We're going to take it through some twisties. Alright, what are we in? We're in dynamic mode. Man, there's some cool things about this new BMW. We're going to go through a couple little twisties up here. I'll tell you a few of the reasons why this bike is pretty amazing, and yeah, big step up from the old one. As you'll know, I own the 2014 S1000RR. I own the 2015 S1000RR. This is like a 2019, 2020, I don't exactly know, but the new one does have the carbon fiber wheels. Oh my god, that is the best thing about this bike. The brakes are... I always say that my 2015 had the best brakes of any bike. This bike has just made it even better. Like, it is absolutely phenomenal, which is what you want when people freaking... There's a very small country back road, so they take up the whole road. Oh, it's like hitting a brick wall, these brakes. They're freaking amazing. Give you an idea of some power. Actually, I don't know if it's got launch control, but we'll do our own launch control, eh? Let's go. Not the best start, but woo! So, some big changes. I would say the biggest change when you first get on the thing is, I'm just like, where's the motor? The width of the bike, where your knees are, is insanely thin. I keep saying to all my friends, it's because that's one thing I really liked about my Daytona 675 was the thinness of where your knees are. This bike is the same, and I'm like, how is that possible on a 1000cc 4-cylinder bike? Like, where have they hidden the motor? I don't know what they've done, but it's amazing. It transforms the way you kind of sit on the bike, grip with your knees. It makes the bike just feel more agile. One thing that was always kind of a bad point about the S1000RR was the front end always kind of felt a bit heavy, a bit slow compared to some other bikes that felt a bit more agile, a bit quicker to turn in. This one is amazing. The HP4 Race is phenomenal in terms of its... Oh, dead Kanga. In terms of its turn-in and its lightness and agility, and this bike is much closer to the HP4 Race than it is the older S1000RR. This road is not the best to try and attack corners because it's very loose stones on it, but and just being able to hug with your knees, it actually makes it a better road bike as well. Other changes, it seems like the quick shifter is even better now. Nothing wrong with the old quick shifter, but it's almost like a seamless kind of gearbox these days. No real feeling of loss of power or anything. Even downshifts don't even feel it, basically. That's down to first gear, then straight back up into fourth. It's so quick. And let's give it a really good brake test here. Oh my lord! The hazards came on. That's how hard it was braking. It's like you've had an accident. It thinks I've actually hit a brick wall. That was actually like stoppy as well. I could feel the back coming up then. It has stoppy control as well. So they have taken a lot of weight out of this bike. I don't think it's the weight that you feel agility wise. I think it's what they've done with the chassis. The way they've made it feel so thin in the middle, and the way they've kind of lightened up the front end. I don't know how they've done that, but that's what's making it feel more agile than the actual, probably, you know, 5-ish kilos that they've taken out of it from the old bike. I don't think it's that slight weight drop is not making that. I think it's the actual improvements in chassis. I mean, they've gone to different electronic suspension. The old suspension was a Sachs electric suspension. This is now Masashini. Probably not pronouncing that correctly, but so I'm guessing it's a different suspension, so it's probably going to have a different feel to it. So far I like it. There's nothing wrong with the Sachs suspension, but this just feels like it just wants to move around more easily. Not as soft and as slow as the older chassis and suspension. The front end on it looks completely different. It's no longer asymmetrical. Now it is symmetrical, which has made a lot of people probably happy, some people sad. I'm still I still really like the look of my old S1000RR, so but I think this will definitely grow on me. The TFT screen display on this thing is absolutely phenomenal. So nice, right up there with Triumph's really good screens. My Yamaha MT-10 SP is really looks so much more old school compared to a screen like this. It's funny to think that any full TFT bike dash looks old school, but this just looks miles ahead of my Yamaha. The best thing to do when you're talking about a motorcycle like this, like obviously BMW S1000RRs are very popular, they sell very well. You know, every review is going to be like, oh, they're amazing, they're very fast, and blah, 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 blah. The thing you want to hear is, what's wrong with it, Tom? I know that's what people, now some people take that bad as like, you know, you're on a $27,000 motorbike and you're crapping on about it, but that's what people want to hear. What are the problems with it? Now with this one, I'm sure this is just its own bike, but I can't get it to neutral. See, it's in first, second, first, second. I got a car behind me. I'm sure it's just a problem with this bike, but for the life of me, I can't get it into neutral. But the other thing is, this is like the M Sport pack, so quickly show you. It's got I have to turn it off because I can't get into neutral. It has carbon fiber wheels, but it has the M Sport seat. It's terrible, don't get it unless you're actually racing. When you're racing, you know, you don't even need a seat. You want to be able to feel what's going on with the back wheel, so I didn't have a seat on my track bike. Don't get this though, because you're not racing. 90% of you're on the freeway all day or going to get coffee. Just keep the regular seat. This is so hard, it's painful. 1 hour on this seat and you'll hate it. What else don't I like about it? Other than that, I haven't really found too many big issues. The brakes are absolutely amazing. Like literally, I don't know how BMW keep making them better. They're so good. The electronics are absolutely fantastic on this. Seamless, like in dynamic mode, it's stopping me from wheeling, but it just lets the wheel lighten up at the front just enough so you remain in control, but you're getting as much power down as possible. I can go down to first. Now you go into neutral. Like, Jesus Christ. Quick shifter, you're meant to go down. Like first gear, full power. Like that should be skyrocketing the front wheel into space, but the electronics, like, I don't know how it's stopping the front wheel from just going into orbit, man. But it's not like it's like very abrupt like my MT-10 when the traction control cuts the wheelie on that. It's like you know it's cutting in. This, it's just it's so seamless. It's still got the pop and crackle from the old exhaust, exactly like my 2015. Like just the right RPM, you can get it to pop and crackle. It's so good. So I guess it hasn't lost any of the good things of the old BMW S1000RR. It's just gained some better things. Lightened it up, more agile. It's just a better bike in every way, I can think. Is it worth the, you know, if you've already got a... Hey, cows. Hello. Hey. Is it worth spending the money if you already have an S1000RR? It is a big enough upgrade. Like, I would say from the 2014 to the 2015, it wasn't really that big of an upgrade. You got up-down quick shifter, and you got like cruise control. I think that was it, some updated electronics. But hey horse, how are you laying down, buddy? Having a lay down, are you? But this one, I think because of the chassis design, updated TFT display and stuff, I think it is a big enough upgrade worthy of people who already have an S1000RR to upgrade to it. It's something special, this bike, especially coming off the HV4 race, which is phenomenal. This bike is for a road bike, it's actually pretty freaking close to it, which is amazing considering the HV4 race is basically a world superbike. In terms of power wise, I really can't tell you if it's more powerful. Every BMW S1000RR that's ever been made is stupidly powerful, and you know, more powerful than 90% of people can use. I can tell you it's still very, very fast, but I'd really need to get it to Phillip Island or something before I could tell you, you know, is it actually quicker than my old bike? The heated grips have 3 levels now. They are very warm. It's very cold today, so it's nice to have warm heated grips. I'll turn it down from dynamic down to like a road mode. Being that it's got electronic suspension, usually the ride modes will actually soften the suspension up, make it a little bit more comfortable. Other than this seat, it would actually be very comfortable, especially being how much thinner it is at your knees. It helps a lot to, you know, they always say you got to grip with your knees to try and take the weight off your wrists and off your back on a sports bike, but this bike actually makes you want to really grip with your knees because of how much thinner it is. It is making me kind of miss having a BMW S1000RR though. They are phenomenal motorcycles in terms of how refined and comfortable they are to ride on the road, but also you forget how brutal they are when you get them on a track or something. You know, I commuted on an S1000RR for years, and if you're just riding in traffic every day, you forget what you're sitting on basically. Like, I mean, it's like if you just took a Bugatti Chiron to the shops every day. You'd forget that you're in something that can do a bajillion kilometers an hour. It's not until you get somewhere like Phillip Island and you can, you know, it's still ripping the front wheel up in 5th gear at over 250 k's an hour. It's terrifying how fast these motorcycles are, but also amazing about how unbelievably comfortable they are when you're just, you know, sitting in 6th gear, relaxing in a softer riding mode. It's also got the BMW GS spinny wheel. I have no idea what it does though. As you can see, I do a lot of research before I do bike reviews. I've literally got it to do nothing. Maybe like the bike's going to be off or something, or it might just be a navigation thing. I think that's what it is on the GS, is just a navigation thing. I only used it for navigation when I did the GS Safari. Cruise control, let's get that going, eh? There we go. Cruise control set to your desired speed. Let's pop that up to 100. I always say this, but cruise control, a lot of people think, why do you need cruise control on a sports bike? I think cruise control is the best application on a sports bike. I actually never use cruise control on comfortable motorcycles because I always find, like, on a comfortable motorcycle my hands just naturally sit on the throttle, so I don't need to take my hands off. But on a sports bike, like when you're on the freeway, you don't want to be leant over like this, like, you know, on your wrists and back bent and stuff. So if you set cruise control, you can like sit up and just have your hands on the seat. A lot of people freak out. They're like, oh, but you can't get to the brakes. And I'm like, there's a brake right there. I'm stopping. She still stops. So nice on the freeway when you've been leant over for so long. You have to just sit up, stretch the back. Cruise control is literally the best thing on super sports. I think it should be on every super sport. I wouldn't even bother putting it on an adventure bike. I mean, it's alright for adventure bikes because you can do stuff with your gloves and shit, and not have to hold the throttle, but I think cruise control is the best on sports bikes. Real world performance, the merging onto the freeway, a time where having some power is actually good. Probably don't need this much power of a new BMW. That's how quickly I can get up to 110. Coming on the freeway, doing 70 k's an hour. I reckon it'll take me 0.1 of a second. unnecessary, having 200 horsepower, but hey, it does it well. Just cruising into the city over the Westgate Bridge, and just thinking about it, you know, I was talking about how I feel this bike feels more agile than the previous version. I was trying to put my finger on if it's the suspension or the chassis or whatever. Probably actually a lot has to do with the fact that this has carbon fiber wheels. Now, I know that having like less unsprung weight in your wheels is like massive for handling agility. It just makes everything better. But you know, it's hard to be like, if you've never ridden a bike with carbon fiber wheels, like what are they going to feel like? I can't just get on a bike and know that, oh, this got carbon fiber wheels, I can feel it. But I'm guessing that's where that lightness and that kind of agile part of it's probably coming from that. I think my camera's dying, but this is the new BMW S1000RR. Absolutely amazing bike. I was just saying, I think it's because the carbon fiber wheels makes this bike feel so light and agile. I think that's really the main reason why it feels so light. Having that lightweight, unsprung weight on the wheels is massive, I think. Makes it feel way more agile. I think that's one of the biggest things about having this bike is probably that carbon fiber wheel option.